Is your child a natural-born entertainer? Now is their chance to join the most talented youth dance crew in the Mid-South, the Blue Bunch. The Blue Bunch entertains Grizz Nation with their energetic dance routines and even have the opportunity to collaborate on performances with leading artists in the entertainment industry. Kids ages 7 to 17 are invited to show off their skills and personality for their chance to join the next generation of NBA entertainers. Open auditions are Saturday, June 28th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talking. Teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
With a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
That's no show. Let's go.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for Game 3, 2025 NBA Finals, because it's tonight on ABC. Series tied 1-1. We're going to do it in downtown Indianapolis. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Chris Vernon going to join me. He, of course, is the host. Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. I'll talk to him about the finals, obviously, but also about the latest reporting connected to the Knicks coaching search. They have asked for permission to speak with Mavericks coach Jason Kidd. That permission has been denied. It's unclear where the Knicks are heading with this coaching search. I'll talk to Vernon about it. He'll be in here in the next segment. When I finish talking to him, we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, 13 players have already been invited to the green room for the 2025 NBA draft. No surprise, Cooper Flagg is one of them. I'll run you through the names. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Coaches' challenges are coming to college basketball next season. Sounds like a step in the right direction. I'll give you the details on rule changes. We'll do that in just a bit. Final score last night in Nashville in soccer. Switzerland 4, United States 0. Apparently we still stink at soccer. I didn't know. I just hadn't really been thinking about it that much. But turns out we're still terrible. I'll give you some troubling numbers. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Cam Ward completed 18 straight passes during the Titans mini camp yesterday. Good stuff from the number 1 overall pick, 2025 NFL draft. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on that. We'll do it in the second hour. And Scottie Scheffler, the best golfer on the planet, played Oakmont yesterday and subsequently called it the hardest course everybody playing in the U.S. Open this week will ever play probably in their lives.
Oh, damn.
Woo! Gonna be a crazy 4 days of golf. I'll tell you exactly what he said. I'll give you the full quote during a segment we call 5 more things you need to know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout. We'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the 2025 NBA Finals because Game 3 is set for tonight inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, downtown Indianapolis. It's the Thunder and the Pacers, 7:30 tip. It's on ABC. As you know, the series is tied 1-1. Indiana won Game 1. Oklahoma City won Game 2. Tonight, the Thunder are listed as 5.5-point favorites. The total is 228.5. Big Bet Bennett, nice to see you this morning. I like your Titans hat. On a scale of 1 to 7, what kind of scene are we expecting tonight inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse? Who's going to be there? Pat McAfee going to be there? John Mellencamp going to be there? Caitlin Clark? David Letterman? What are we going to look like tonight?
Is David Letterman a proud Indianapolis resident?
He's from Indiana.
Okay.
He's from Indiana.
Right on.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, you learn something.
I had no idea.
Bennett, you learn something every day.
I bet some of those people will be there. I don't think David Letterman will be there. I don't think Letterman will be there. I bet Caitlin Clark will be there.
I hope so.
Yeah, I bet Caitlin Clark will be there. I bet
so.
McAfee. I'm not sure if John Cougar's or John Mellencamp. Apologies, he's not John Cougar anymore.
John Mellencamp and Pat McAfee, they beefing a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen. You get them in the same room.
I saw they were beefing a little bit. I can't tell if John's a big NBA fan or not though.
I think John Mellencamp has great love for anything connected to the wonderful state of Indiana, including the Pacers organization.
Yeah.
Just, of course, all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Little pink houses.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like for them to have a reconciliation at some point as two proud Indiana residents.
Never too late. Never too late to make things right.
Yeah.
Should be an awesome scene. Can't wait. Obviously, the crowd in Oklahoma City gets a lot of attention because they're very color coordinated. Mm-hmm. This won't be quite that, and it won't be the scene we had in Madison Square Garden, but still, it'll be Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
It will be better than the Oklahoma City crowd, without question.
Well,
no, that crowd is boring. Sorry.
I can see the point. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it won't be like the Garden is crazy. It's not going to be that. Let's put it somewhere in between.
Okay. In between the Garden and the OKC crowd.
Let's put it somewhere in between that. All right?
Okay.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait to turn on the TV tonight and watch it. Heading in, it appears the story, as long as you take your narratives from, people who talk about the NBA on a national level, it appears the story is Tyrese Haliburton, and I guess for two reasons. One, is he healthy? And if so, can he be more aggressive or more of a scorer than he's been, even though he's not a scorer with the ball in his hands the same way, say, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a scorer with the ball in his hands. So let's take these questions. Number one, is he healthy? This is being asked because noticeably he limped in and out of his media availability following the Game 2 loss in Oklahoma City. As I talked about with Michael Eaves earlier in the week, sometimes you just limp. Sometimes people just move that way, particularly after they just played a professional basketball game. But still, there's cameras on him, and everybody saw it. And so needless to say, he was going to get asked about that. Rick Carlisle was going to get asked about that. They both addressed it yesterday, and Tyrese Haliburton said, "I'm fine." I'll take him at his word, fine enough to play, but he's clearly not where he would like to be because he did have some sort of tape on his lower leg yesterday that apparently was a new addition to the uniform. Like this piece of tape hadn't been there, but it is there now. And even Rick Carlisle said, listen, there's some discomfort there. I don't know that anybody feels perfect at this point in the season. Don't ever forget that. But he's fine enough to play. Mm-hmm. He went through everything we went through in practice today, and he will be in uniform. So any speculation about what that limp could lead to, just know it won't lead to him not being in the lineup. Then we'll throw the ball up in the air, and we'll start playing, and we'll see what it looks like. But from Rick Carlisle to Tyrese Haliburton yesterday, they did their best to say, was he limping? Sure. Is there some discomfort? Yeah. But everybody's got some discomfort at this point of the year. He'll be ready to go. We're playing basketball. So then the next question is, okay, well, what kind of basketball are you going to play? Because I personally think we overreact to every game at this stage in the NBA season. It feels like every year. Haliburton hits that shot, and it's like superstar conversation, and then he has a not-so-great Game 2, and then you start looking back at Game 1 and go, okay, he hit the shot, but he didn't play great outside of the shot. And then he didn't play well in game 2. And what is wrong with Tyrese Haliburton? And this has dominated, at least on some level, the national conversation heading into game 3. Because at this point, you probably know, even though the Pacers are 7-0 this postseason, when he scores at least 21 points, he's just not taking shots against the Thunder. He only had 7 field goal attempts through the first 3 quarters of the game, and he finished with 17 points. So people are asking, can he be more aggressive? Does he need to get more shots up, regardless of what they look like, get more shots up? And like we talked about on Monday, we can keep asking these big questions about some of the best perimeter players in the world, but at some point you're going to have to look at the other side and say there's a common denominator here. We went from Anthony Edwards might be the face of the league to why isn't Anthony Edwards shooting more? We went from Tyrese Haliburton as an undeniable superstar to why isn't Tyrese Haliburton shooting more? Because of them.
Yeah.
It's them. They're the reason. It's not Tyrese Haliburton any more than it was Anthony Edwards. And you could see Anthony Edwards sort of get frustrated with a little bit of a grin, but frustrated when he kept being asked about, why are you not doing A, B, and C? And he was like, I think I'm playing okay. I don't I think I'm playing all right.
Yeah.
But like the shots just aren't there. They're just not there. I think I'm playing all right, but I'm not getting clean looks. And if Haliburton would talk about it as candidly as Anthony Edwards did, I promise you he would say something similar. I want to get more than 7 shots up for the first 3 quarters. They're not there. I don't see them. And it's a little bit, and I've used this analogy before, but it's a little bit whether it was Roy Jones in one era of boxing or subsequently Floyd Mayweather. I can't tell you how many boxing matches I would watch with those men in it, in their primes. And they always have a camera and a mic in the corners in between rounds. And so Floyd's up, in terms of rounds, 4-1 through 5. And Roy Jones is up through 7 rounds, 6-1. And they go to the other guy's corner. And the trainer's in his face, and he's like, you got to touch him. You got to touch him. You got to punch. You got to throw punches. You got to get busy. And the guy's just looking at him like, yeah, I know. I got you. He's like, you're behind on cards. You got to get working. You got to get going. All right, I got you. Go back out there, same thing. Not even throwing punches. And then what they would subsequently explain to you is, you don't see the punches with these people. You try things early in the fight, but you don't touch him at all. And then it's like, if I'm not touching him at all, what am I even doing? And then you're looking for something that's just not there. And suddenly you're, even though a world-class fighter, just uncomfortable because of him. You've never been in a situation like this where I'm standing right in front of this guy and I can't touch him. I don't know where he's at. The angles are all weird and I can't touch him. And then it gets in your head. And next thing you know, you ain't thrown a punch for 45 seconds. You've just been dancing around. And people are screaming, throw the punch. And you're like, I don't know what's going on out here. You get lost in it. That can happen in basketball too. And on some level, that is what's happening. Anthony Edwards didn't decide to stop scoring in the Western Conference Finals. He ran into an incredible defense that just closes everything very quickly, takes things away in ways other teams cannot do. Talk to anybody connected to the Grizzlies when they got in that first round series with the Thunder. The whole fix when they stopped turning the ball, like, it was all turnovers and here, take this ball, now we'll watch you lay it in and dunk it, whatever. The Grizzlies just started trying to get shots up as quickly as possible because we could keep passing it around, setting ball screens. We ain't getting nowhere against these guys. So if you got a clean look, just throw it up because that's going to be the last clean look we probably get. Just get going quicker. And the whole mindset behind that is because the longer you're playing against this defense, the harder it gets. And then we saw it with Anthony Edwards, and now we're seeing it with Tyrese Haliburton. I'm eager to see what the adjustments will be from Rick Carlisle because he's one of the best, and there will be adjustments. But at some point, you just got to tip your hat to the other side and be like, I'm playing against an all-time great elite defense that makes things very difficult. So things are very difficult. Like, we don't, when a hitter gets in the box against Paul Skeens, say, why do you look uncomfortable? Well, because I ain't never seen anything like this. This is a different deal altogether. Like, I'm a big league hitter, but this, or Jacob deGrom in his prime. Well, why do you look off balance up there? Because I've never seen a slider like that. Right now, what the Pacers are having to deal with, specifically Tyrese Haliburton, is something unlike nobody else tests you in this way. Nobody else challenges you in this way, and it's hard. Doesn't mean they can't figure it out. Doesn't mean they can't win one of these or even both of these at home. I'm fired up for the series. I think I know where it's going, but I wouldn't bet my house on it. I think I know where it's going, but I'm not counting out this Pacers team.
Right.
So I'm eager to see what happens tonight. But if you look up and we're 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and Tyrese Haliburton's only attempted 3 shots, and the conversation is why has he only attempted 3 shots, just know what the answer is. It's them. It's not him. It's not because he doesn't want to be aggressive. It's not because he's forgotten what got him here. Like all of that stuff. You hear the stuff on TV. Did he forget what got him here? No. What? No. It's just harder to do against them. They're the problem. It's hard against them. Let him play somebody else tonight. He'll look just like he usually looks. Against these guys, everything's harder. Doesn't mean count them out. But against these guys, everything is harder. Chris Vernon in studio next.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Are you ready? Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment. And they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up at Open Call Auditions Saturday, July 26th at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. And on Wednesdays in the second segment, I'm joined by a man who is smart enough to never look at the chat.
What happened?
It's just irritating.
Oh, really?
It's just irritating. You talk and talk, and then people just hear things that you never actually said.
This is what I told you. I just can't. It's not because I'm very appreciative of everybody that listens and interacts with the show.
Same.
It affects me.
Yes.
So I can't do it.
I
just know the way it would affect the way I'm talking. I get distracted. Honestly, I used to see that a lot. We had like a chat feature years ago, and it would drive Hasseltine crazy.
Everything drives Hasseltine crazy.
Like his show would be one thing, and then somebody would say something in the chat, and it's just like, and I just can't. I can't interact that way.
That's what it makes
and be able to keep my attention.
It makes me want to respond to something that I know
Correct.
I don't really need to respond to because nobody out there is thinking this except for this one person. But this one person's in the chat like, for the millionth time, Tyrese Haliburton is not a score first point guard. Nobody said he's a score first point guard. Never said it. But there is a difference between being a score first point guard and does he need to score more than he's been scoring for them to be successful? Because there is some evidence that suggests that perhaps that's true. Nobody said he's a score first point guard. Before we talk finals, because obviously I want to get your thoughts on.
You're worried about Game 3.
I ain't worried about nothing.
He's so worried.
He's so worried about nothing.
Yes, he is.
I didn't even get a word into that open.
I ain't got no playoff scars. I ain't got no playoff scars. And I still ain't worried about nothing. Thunder and 5.
He knows what's coming.
He knows what's coming tonight.
Thunder and 5.
I could feel a little trepidation in that.
I don't have trepidation.
You don't want to talk. What happened on talk that talk? Talk that talk.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Oh, Big Mouth gets excited because they hit one shot in game one. They get what they've been trailing by double digits the whole series.
Oh yeah.
You hit one shot in game one, and here comes old Big Mouth talking about his playoff scars.
Well, I know Oklahoma City, boy, they have really handled the road well in some of these game threes. They're down 27 here. We suck. We had them down 27.
We did have them down 27.
We had them down 27.
We did have them down 27.
Clipped out of the air. He got clipped out of the air.
Yeah. Keep an eye on Lou Dort tonight.
Coming. You know those Game 3 Thunder.
Somebody's going to get a Siakam sack. Somebody's going to sack Siakam on the way to the basket. They were up 2-0, and they came in here, and they were like, this is light work.
Okay.
And then they got popped around. They're going to know this is a different thing.
Okay.
My Thunder have matured greatly.
Is that right?
Yes. Since the first round of the playoffs, they've matured greatly.
Really? When they lost by 42 at Minnesota?
That's old news. Why do you keep talking about old stuff?
I was just wondering.
Somebody just likes to talk about old stuff all the time.
Well, hey, look, I can't wait. Ain't going to be
wait
no
either.
Thunder ups on my thing tonight.
You should see
yes, sir.
This dude is waiting all night for the Pacers to take a 3-point lead. And my text messages are blowing up. He's fired.
I'm ready. I hate yes sirs, but I'm ready.
Yeah. Huh?
Yes sirs is so lame. And I'm on this Pacers bandwagon. Don't get it twisted.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can both go down together. You can both go down together. Thunder.
Well, because it's him and Roser versus me and Devin. Because Roser's Dr. Thunder.
I know. Roser's Dr. Thunder.
It's Thunder and 5. I'm just going to keep yelling Thunder and 5. If I'm being completely honest, I think Thunder and 6.
No.
But Thunder and 5 is what I'm going to keep yelling.
That's fine.
Let's talk about Haliburton for a second, seriously.
Okay.
People are asking questions, and by people I mean it's the Stephen A. Smiths and the Brian Windhorst and all these people who talk on TV, and they're saying, listen, you can't have 7 field goal attempts through the first 3 quarters of a game. He doesn't need to be a score first point guard, but good things happen when he scores more than he's been scoring, when he shoots more than he's been shooting. Your response to that?
I don't think it's necessarily about field goal attempts or scoring as much as it is, because honestly, look, they are where they are. He's been their second leading scorer. And they are where they are, right?
Yeah. I don't think most people know that.
Throughout the playoffs, he has been.
And in the regular season.
Yeah.
He's their second leading scorer.
Yeah, so he is a cog in that, but he does make it go because he opens it up for his teammates. He is they function as a 5-man unit in a way that we're just not used to talking about basketball. Even if you look, and I did this on the show the other day, if you look at like usage rates, and you're going to have Giannis, and you're going to have Paolo, and you're going to have Luka, and you're going to have Brunson, you're going to have SGA, and you're going to have LeBron, you're going to have all these those. We are so used to John Morant, for that matter, where those guys are super responsible for what goes on with their team. His usage rate is in you've got to scroll to the second page on NBA.com in the playoffs. So he has not been the guy that, like, most of the time, what we deal with is the guys that get talked about as the stars/superstars. The team goes as they go, and so if Anthony Edwards is really struggling, but there have been a lot of up and down games for Tyrese Haliburton throughout this. He has just had such heroics that the conversation gets to where he is talked about like his superstar peers, yet he has never functioned like his superstar peers. I will say this, and he would even tell you the same thing. It's not necessarily about his field goal attempts or his aggression aggression shooting the ball. It's about him being aggressive with the ball and making the other guys. What he is not doing is, and he even has said, is he would judge how well he has played in a game by how many times he's able to get 2 feet in the lane. Because now he's collapsing defense. Now that's how that whole thing works. And so he certainly needs to be more aggressive, whether that is when he gets to his spots that he's taking those shots, but he's never going to be all right, they just went on an 8-0 run. Now, and in fact, I don't even think they would function correctly if he decided to be like, all right. Like, there are times where I've said this about John Morant. I'm like, bro, just take 28 shots tonight. I don't care if you make 12 of them. It's the fact that you're that aggressive and taking the 28 shots, because you have so much of it that functions just off of him, right? He has to do that for the team. Whereas Haliburton doesn't have to do that for his team to function at a super high level, but he certainly needs to be more aggressive. He can't be an innocent bystander to their demise.
He's got to get his feet in the paint.
Both.
And like Buzz Williams was among the first college coaches I heard really emphasize this, like paint touches, but not in a traditional way. Like, people used to think of paint touches as like throw it to the big in the paint.
Right.
It's not just touch the paint.
That's
I don't care how you touch it.
It's all to throw it back out.
Well, even the big
That's
shot.
what they do. They're touching it so that
they
somebody collapses
and now
they're throwing their right.
Even the big shot against the Knicks starts with him touching the paint.
Right.
He's not touching the paint as much.
No, and this is by far the hardest team to do it against.
That's right.
Because there's 10 hands on you.
All the time.
Literally. The second they go to the paint, and they're good at closing out.
And the passing lanes that are normally there aren't there either.
I mean, for God's sakes, Kason Wallace, I think it was, he blocked a shot in the corner on Nesmith on a closeout that I was like, come on, bro.
Right.
Like, I mean, if you can close out. And they got, it's a kick out to Nesmith, and then he shoots a corner three that gets blocked.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Like, they're so good at that.
And, like, it's just not, it's noticeable to me that we're now in 2 straight series where the all-star perimeter player is telling us or showing us this is different playing against them.
Of course it is. Because of their ability to switch and also their individual perimeter defenders.
Right.
Most teams don't have perimeter defenders like this. Most teams also have a guy that you're trying to put into every action, right?
Yeah.
And so they just, Dort in many cases, the problem with them is Dort will get over screens or under screens, and then even if he doesn't, he passes you off, but he's passing you off to a able defender who might be just as good as him at staying in front of you, whereas everybody, and obviously the Knicks had too, but everybody has somebody that you're like, we're finding you, and they don't really have anybody to naturally find, especially when Hartenstein moves his feet so well.
When do you think that noticeably, to get off topic a little bit, starts impacting the draft? When you start drafting specifically for this guy can guard his position, we're going to prioritize that over what happens. We are still in an era of the draft where teams will select people who can guard their position and or shoot.
Right.
And then we watch what the league that you're taking these people into, and if you can't guard your position, you can't shoot, it gets hard to play on this stage. Does it start to impact the draft?
Yeah. I think it already has, and I do think that one of the things is you have to be so exceptional offensively in order to be able if you are going to be a problem on defense, you have to be amazing offensively.
You better be Trae Young on offense. And even he is a problem.
Or Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Right. You have to be amazing on offense in order to That's honestly like, and you named two small guys. That's another way that the small guys now. It's like, bro, if you're gonna be small, you got to be amazing. Like John Morant, you have to be Trae Young, you have to be Jalen Brunson.
And I think even that has changed in like the past few years.
Of course it has.
Would Kennedy Chandler get picked this year?
No,
because he's so small.
And the other thing, and part of that is because freaking Dylan Harper is 6'6",
right? And
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 6'8". It's like this whole group of new guys. The ball handler now might be 7'5".
Yes.
Like he really might. There is a 7'5" guy that is going to be handling the ball in San Antonio.
And I think, like, drilling down on that, Kennedy Chandler was a totally reasonable pick when he was picked.
Yep.
And I don't think he'd get picked in the year 2025, even if he were the exact same player coming off the exact same season.
Right.
Because being that little is harder today than it was the day that he got picked.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, say, like a guy who I loved in college, who I think he played decently well for Toronto this year, but I wonder how long somebody like Jamal Shedd's going to be able to stay in the NBA. Or, you look at, I loved the Sears kid.
Yeah.
But if Sears isn't amazing offensively, then it's
little.
like, right?
Yes.
And obviously Van Vliet, there are guys,
yes,
right? But as I remember, and this is when we drafted Kennedy Chandler, there was one of the Grizzlies coaches, and we were at Summer League that year, and I was asking him about all the guys, and I'll never forget him saying this. I said, "What do you think about Kennedy?" And he goes, "We'll see." And he said, I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you who it was. It was Brad Jones, who was Taylor Jenkins' right-hand man. He wouldn't mind me saying this out loud. Brad said to me at the time, he said, we'll see. He said, I'll tell you something Jerry Sloan told me years and years ago. If you are the smallest guy on the team, you have to be the hardest worker on the team. Mm-hmm. And time will tell if he is the hardest worker on the team or not. But, like, that's the only way. Right? And you look at, like, say, like, the T.J. McConnells of the world, it's like he'll sit there and tell you, like I just saw an interview with him, and he was like, playing hard is a skill. Yes. I knew my only chance. You remember our guy, Javon Carter, who was here, who's on the diminutive side. But it's like those guys are picking you up 94 feet. Right. That's the way they can keep a job.
They're the guy. Right? They're the guy. If you were playing pickup with them, you'd be like, calm down. All right? But you got to bring that. Other people want you to calm down, but
you have to be the hardest worker on the team. You have to do so much more because, I mean, you're giving up 6 inches to even like Desmond Bane.
Yeah,
Desmond Bane's not considered big.
No,
Desmond Bane looks small.
Yes.
Amongst his peers on a basketball court.
That's right.
On regular occasion, and then. Desmond Bane walks up here to the studio, and you're like, Jesus.
Right.
The worst one ever is Dylan. Oh, my God. He is huge. Like a huge human being. And when you watch games, and even when I would watch him every night, and then he walked up in here, and I'm like, God, play. Well, he's 6'8", he's 250 pounds, he's big, man.
Yeah, and like even the smaller guys look big in real life, but tiny on a basketball court. There's a picture I have somewhere, like some charity thing, and ended up playing 18 with Mike Conley. And it was me and 2 other dudes like me and Mike. And there's a picture of all 4 of us like on the 18th green, the same picture everybody had. Mike looks like a giant.
Right.
But on a basketball court, he looks tiny.
Yep.
But next to us, he looks like a giant.
And so, like, those guys that are, like, the 5'11s and the 6 foots, like...
Well, like Yuki.
Really, really
we
hard.
all love Yuki, but that's just it's hard.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're... Especially now when the guards are big.
Right.
The guards are big now, man.
Everybody's bigger now. Everybody. I mean, look at Duke. Duke had the best basketball team in the country this past season. According to Ken Pom and all those types of things, made it to the Final Four. You know what Duke also was? The tallest average height in college basketball.
Yeah.
Every starter was at least 6'6".
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about.
And they recruited that.
Because you think about what a unicorn Penny was.
Yeah.
Just for being a big point guard.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, there was like Magic. Like, Magic was the only guy anybody could compare him to.
No.
Because guys weren't like that. The guys weren't that size.
And
like,
if you talk to basketball people, a lot of this, certainly among a lot of the everybody's bigger now out on the perimeter, it's a Kevin Durant thing. You had kids growing up watching Kevin Durant and thinking, oh, well, if he can do that at this size, maybe I can do it at this size.
Well, and it's also, there's just you're never seeing post-ups.
No.
Like, it has to be Europeans.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Like, they're the only ones still learning, post-move footwork.
No.
On a, you know what I mean? Like, you watch somebody like Şengün, and they throw it down to the post. He's got 50 post moves, right? There was one guy that was like that years ago, and honestly, you know who has the best post moves of any player I've ever seen in person at a workout was Kevin Love. Kevin Love, I went to his workout, and he was there with Joey Dorsey. He was there with JaVale McGee or DeAndre Jordan. It was a bunch of them, all there. And they did this drill where you had to throw it down into the post, and you had to go one-on-one, basically, right? And it was one-on-one, and then you got to keep going until you scored. And I'm telling you, the Dorsey, DeAndre Jordan, all those guys, they were just in a line going back and forth, and Kevin Love would not stop scoring.
Right.
And every time it was a different move, and that's all from his dad, and that's all from growing up big.
Yes.
And he played in the post, and Şengün, same way, played in the post. Jokic plays in the post, but see what happens if you throw the ball down to Mark Williams.
Right. Right.
It's a mess.
No, he can't play with it. He can't bounce it or do anything with it.
No, he's not drop stepping on you, and he's not hitting a fadeaway. It's it's almost like that. That's just not part of American basketball anymore in any way. Well, the guys that are big, are catch and finish, or maybe a jump hook, or honestly, now everybody wants just the high flyers that can finish above the rim. And frankly, you look at these two teams, you don't want anything. You want 5 wide.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
You walk into
Thomas Bryant shoots threes.
Yes. But you walk into any gym in America, and the tall guys are not down there working on footwork.
No.
They're out here just launching threes. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
Every workout, all day long.
Yeah. 20 years ago, Ace Bailey would have been well, I guess now he lied about his height so bad.
That one's crazy.
He really is.
I mean, the whole time they're 6'10". He's 6'10". He's
There's a huge difference, bro.
He's 6'7", 6'6".
There's a huge difference.
Yes.
I have this. I'll tell you how big of a difference it is. I have this poster that's in my house, and it's the first year of Giannis in Milwaukee. Our guys brought it back to me. And it says Greek and still growing. And it has on one side, it has Giannis, and it says June, whatever year he was drafted. I can't remember now. And then on the next side, it's 6 months later, December of whatever. And it's a 3 or 4 inch height. It's his picture and his picture. And you sit there and you go, bro, 6'7" Giannis probably kind of sucks.
Right.
6'10" and a half Giannis
is
maybe the best player in the world.
Right.
And it's so then when I saw the Ace Bailey thing, I'm that went the wrong way on this because everybody told me he was,
I have him
6'10".
lower. I have him lower on big boards and whatever than most other people. I mean, as always, we'll see. But
6'10's way different than 6'8", bro.
Yes, and he
way different.
Right. Well,
what's gonna be funny is if he grows to be 7 foot. He's like 17 years old or whatever.
Switching gears, because I did want to ask you about the big NBA headline from the morning. The Knicks asked permission to speak with Jason Kidd.
Bro.
The Mavericks said no. They've now been turned down for Chris Finch and Ime Udoka. Everybody's saying you can't talk to our coach. Do they know what they're doing?
Well, and also Jay Wright.
Yeah,
that came out, right? That they had at least had a conversation with it. He has a relationship with Leon Rose. No, they clearly don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
It makes you wonder.
How do you not know what you're doing?
I thought that they had the coach lined up.
You would.
I really did.
You know what it leads me to believe? It leads me to believe that it was the owner.
Yeah.
That's what it leads me to believe.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what? I was watching my man Nick Wright the other day, and he actually gave credit. He's like, I think that he said, I think Colin Cowherd had the best take on this, and it was something that I had never thought of either. And he said that the Knicks were, everything was going, they had hired these guys, and they had hired the front office, and they had hired the coach, and everything was going really well for the Knicks. And then for a good 2-3 year span. There's no drama. There's no stupid ass moves. There's none of that, whatever. And he goes, and if you line it up, he said it's because James Dolan, who inherited all this stuff from his dad and whatever, he had the Sphere. And that became what he cared about.
Right.
And the Sphere just took over his life. And so then the Sphere, he goes, but then the Knicks got awesome, and now it's the stars in the front and whatever. And to his point, I'm like, you think, and like, well, that's kind of interesting. You know, you do wonder. And then you read these reports that he was in the meetings, the player exit meetings. And it kind of makes me feel like, there's probably a couple players that's all fresh that probably didn't say the nicest things, whatever, and you have the opportunity to say, okay, but look, hey, we just went to the Eastern Conference Finals and we had this going to this going, this going, stand by them. Or you can just say, because now it looks rudderless, because it's like, bro, if you can't fire him unless you have exactly what you want lined up. Right. And I was under the impression when they did that, in fact, our mismatch show that we record on Monday night, I was like, it's got to be Jason Kidd. Like,
right.
It must just be that they've talked about it. Same way they talked about Brunson behind everybody's back.
Of course.
They got, once they traded Luka, whatever, those guys have a relationship with Kidd. Brunson's got a relationship with Kidd, and they just figured it out and said, hey, yeah, we want to bring you over here, blah, blah, blah. And then Kidd's like, all right, maybe I can work it out with Nico and whatever. Because look, when the story first came out, Shams was like, they're going to ask permission to talk to the... Come on.
Right.
You're going to ask if you can hire him.
That's right.
There is no permission. There is no, hey, Jason, what do you think about,
By the way...
you don't need to do an interview.
Let me ask you this. Am I connecting too many dots? Because here's what I would assume. That before you, quote, ask permission, before you even take it to Dallas in any sort of official capacity, you already know that Jason Kidd wants to be with you.
100%.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, Jason, you want me to go talk to him? Like, you'll do this if we can get it done. Yes.
Right.
All right, we're going to go talk to him.
Of course.
So let me ask you.
And that's why I thought it was all lined up. I'm like, if he's leaking this.
Yes.
Because there is no permission to talk to. It is permission to hire.
So let me ask you, why have we never seen this? And if we have seen this, remind me. All the time, Jimmy Butler wants to go somewhere, and he just starts raising hell, and it's like, I'm getting out of here. You're going to have to get me out of here.
Kid's done it. Obviously the Brooklyn thing was a disaster.
But like, could he just start? Left. Could he like just say, I was happy here.
Of course he could.
But they moved my best player, and this ain't the direction I thought we were going, and I just want out of here. And
yes. The easiest way is, and look, we've seen it happen here. And those guys both just. They were not fired. Lionel Hollins was not fired, and Dave Yeager was not fired.
Right.
Bro, take on your front office, see what happens. You know who else that happened to? Mike Malone.
Oh, sure.
Michael Malone did it.
Yep.
Hell, that's maybe who they end up hiring. You know who else? A Knicks fan texted me the other day and asked me what I thought about Taylor Jenkins.
I like Taylor. I would be worried the media would eat him up there.
In New York?
Yeah.
Tough spot.
I think the media would eat him up there.
Tough spot.
Like, just the way he talks.
Tough to be in New York, yeah.
Just the way he talks pregame and the way he talks postgame,
yep.
It would not play well in New York City.
Right. Whereas the Malone stuff, it's like, bro, you're really hiring another Thibodeau, right? Right. Where it's like, I don't know. But for sure, look, you can't go to the Eastern Conference Finals and then get rid of your coach and then not know what you're doing.
Except to your point, this owner, James Dolan, is exactly the type. If you ask anybody who's ever dealt with him, he is exactly the type of guy who would do something like this.
And they say, and you know what? I fall back. I actually think I think I buy that Cowherd theory. I do, where it's like he wasn't involved with it. He was preoccupied with what was his baby. But then they got awesome again, and now it's like, oh, I'm getting back involved with the Knicks.
It's
like, oh, crap.
I didn't know he did the Sphere. How about that?
That has been a massive undertaking.
But I actually understand how that happens, even if I know it's crazy. Like, on like a smaller, unimportant level, like, this stuff happens to me sometimes. Like, I'll just be in New York half a week. I'm there 13 straight days. I don't care about nothing that's going on at home. And Kelly could be like, yeah, the something went wrong. And I'm like, all right, I got to go. I don't care about nothing. And she's like, I get home and I'm like, how long has this been broken? Why hasn't this been addressed? Right? And I'm just out of sight, out of mind. I'm distracted over here. But now I'm back home and I'm like, what's going on here?
Right.
We got to fix this.
Well, and he loved setting up. He to the stories about Dolan, it's like he chooses what celebrity gets what seat and who is invited. He loves that whole part of it. And he was sitting on the front row and he was there for all of that. And it's like the Knicks are good again and they're setting the city on fire and everybody's out on the street. And it's like the Knicks are the talk of the town or whatever. And it's like, well, I don't want to be out of sight, out of mind. I want to be a part of this.
But
next thing you know, he's in the exit interviews like, bro, get your ass out of here.
Do you realize, in all seriousness, we could not talk the way we talk if we worked for the New York Knicks.
Oh, for sure.
0% chance we would not have these jobs.
No, they have facial recognition of people that do say bad things about him. Who was the reporter that got... Bro, did you not... was it last year? A reporter got kicked out of... She went with her family to Carnegie Hall or something. Rockefeller Center, or where was it? It was I think it was the Rockettes or something.
Yes.
And they have facial recognition there, and the security grabbed her.
When you walk,
and they said that, they had her.
Yes, when you walked into Madison Square Garden this season, they knew who you were.
Crazy.
Based off of a facial scan. That 100% goes on there. They know exactly who's there, and they will pull people. They'll pull people.
Crazy.
No, this is what it was. There's a lawsuit against MSG or James Dolan, whatever, the whole thing. And this woman was tied up in the lawsuit somehow, or just worked for the company.
Yes.
And when she tried to get into another place that totally, she's got nothing to do with it. She just works for this place that's tied up in this lawsuit.
Yes.
They facial scanned her and said, you can't come in.
Right.
Yes. Oh, there was a New York radio personality who said something that was unkind to him. Immediately, no Knicks employees, nobody connected to the franchise can go on that show. It's over. Boom. Just like that. I mean, he is petty like that.
Yeah.
And you would have been fired 10 times by now already.
So you can imagine him getting in and meddling. And that's why I kind of buy that. I kind of, you know what I mean? If there's anything that we have learned, they have been run extremely well and very well coached. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, you're whether you agree or disagree with Tom Thibodeau, but I think most people would agree that's stupid. Bro, you were in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Jason Tatum tore his Achilles, and it's open next year, and it's like, why are you
messing with this?
Why are you changing the coach?
Right.
Here's what I would say. There is a very high percentage chance that you do worse than Tom Thibodeau.
Of course.
And there is a very low percentage chance that you do better than Tom Thibodeau. And obviously, they're going around like, why is Jason Kidd better than Tom Thibodeau? I don't know. You tell me. Why is, I thought he did a great job, right? And they were finally relevant. They're finally it's like, bro, why would you
It's pretty clear in the exit interviews, the players were like, we're worn out.
That's right.
It's pretty clear the players convinced the owner to do this. Something the player said registered with the owner, and then the owner pulled the trigger, and now they're in a mess.
You can't do it unless you know.
That's my thing.
You can't get rid of him unless you know.
Put me in charge, I would not have done it. But if I'm going to do it, I got to know what's coming next. I can't be out here like this.
I mean, imagine if this happened at Memphis, and the guy came out and said, we're getting rid of Penny Hardaway. And then they just
do a coaching search.
Yeah, and they asked 4 guys.
Right. Oh, that does happen in college all the time.
I got it, but then they asked 4 guys, and all of them said no. Like, bro, you didn't know what you were going to do before you got...
okay.
Again, I don't... It's possible that you could convince me that, say, Michael Malone is a better coach than Tom Thibodeau and that he's going to be able to raise the bar. I mean, this has happened before, and it very well may be. But that's why, I just thought, all right, if you're going to, once upon a time, Rick Carlisle, who is, by all accounts, everybody agrees, amazing, right? Great. Rick Carlisle got blown out for Larry Brown, and they won the title.
That's right.
So they did upgrade, right?
That's one example where it worked. Yeah.
Right? Once upon a time, I thought it was asinine for Georgia to get rid of Mark Richt. Bro, you win 10, you go 10-2 every year.
But it worked.
And they did.
Yeah.
They did better, right? And
Ohio State with John Cooper, I guess it was.
Right.
Yeah, same type of thing.
Yeah, and they did do better. And it's like, but you had that lined up. Like, you knew what you were going to do after you decided that we were going to go a different direction. And it's like, I don't understand how you could get rid of a guy and then it's publicly embarrassing. But by the way, all these guys have jobs. Who do you think you are?
Right.
That you could just go hire somebody else's coach. Like, can you imagine what it was like in the Houston office? They're like, what? Get out of here.
Well, let me ask you this
why
then.
On earth would we let, why on earth would we let our coach go? He's awesome.
But if you're Houston, if you and I agree that before New York even picks up the phone and calls Dallas, they know Jason Kidd would come, do they also have a hint that Udoka would come if you could get him?
I mean, I don't understand it.
I don't know that I'd leave Houston right now.
No way.
Yeah.
For the Knicks?
Yeah.
Oh, I would.
I mean, it might just be like, you never know. Like,
I'm saying no way Houston would let him go.
Oh, no, I know they won't let him,
Yeah.
but I know no way they'd let him go. No chance. But does he want to go?
Oh.
Yes.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Yes.
The Knicks is for sure a great job for next year.
But, like, if you're Udoka, would you
I mean,
leave?
again, you're imagining you're getting paid $7 to $10 to $15 million a year.
And he may just want to go back to New York.
And you're just making a fortune.
Right.
Right?
Right. But what does that tell you if you're Houston? Does that bother you if you're Houston's front office? Like, the only reason we got this phone call is because you must have let them know you'd be interested in going.
I don't know. I think that probably... I think New York probably has a lot like the L.A., like the exceptionalism, where they just think, all right,
anybody would
now
be here.
let's choose.
We'll take anybody. It's the same thing Kentucky basketball has once upon a time.
We'll go hire your guy.
Right.
Like, what? No, you don't get to hire our guy, right? He's our guy.
He's our guy.
You don't get to hire him.
Oh, they'll get a coach eventually. And
it is a mess.
It is a mess.
Just the PR of all this.
Yeah, and that's not the city where you want a mess.
By the way, go read his thing today. I mean, it's sweet as can be.
Thibodeau's?
He's not the kind of guy that you would think, right? Great PR.
Right.
I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, you're just... I'd have a tear running down my face, seriously.
No.
Reading that shit, and then, like, anybody can go read it. Just type in Tom Thibodeau goodbye letter. That he, like, put in all the papers and everything.
Yeah.
It's sad as hell.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, and then you don't have a coach, and then you're like, oh my God, are we back to being a laughing stock again? It's like, that was so fun for 2 years.
Do you think if they could snap their fingers and just
undo
it?
I don't know.
Just be like, hey, let's do that Men in Black thing where everybody forgets this even happened.
I mean,
if that's what happens at Men in Black, I don't
do it anymore
know.
because, I mean, look, and by the way, he still has $30 million on his deal.
You paid $30 million to create this.
$30 million to not coach.
Yeah.
I tell you this, man, a fired coach is the best gig in the world.
It seems like it.
Seriously.
That buyout money is nice.
It's crazy how much they, like, you see this. I mean, somebody should add it up. That would be a great, like, off-season article. Just to find out how much buyout money is being spent right now.
Have you ever seen that?
On fired coaches, because none of these coaches have had their jobs for 5 years anymore.
Have you seen the Ed Orgeron clip where he's talking about his buyout at LSU?
Yes.
He's like, and they told me, Coach, we're going in another direction, but we owe you, $20 million, and we're going to give you all the money we owe you. And he's like, all right, just tell me what time you want me out of here.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, my experience with I work with fired coaches, right?
Yep.
They want to coach. They want to work.
Of course.
But the buyout checks are nice.
Yes.
I mean, the buyout checks are nice.
I mean, and $30 million?
Okay. What about Monty Williams?
No, he's a crook. He really is. He is a crook. He never wanted that job in the first place. But it was like the amount of money.
It was just like, I gotta
and then
do
he
this.
just dogged it.
Yeah.
Killian Hayes. Dude, there was a night where I turned them on because one of our old buddies works there. I turned them on. I said, is this son of a bitch really playing Kevin Knox? Like, they brought in Kevin Knox on a 10-day, and he was playing him over Jaden Ivey. And I'm like, okay. All right, this dude, come on. I really think he did that on purpose. I'm not kidding. There's no way he's that bad at coaching basketball.
Well,
it's impossible.
Right.
It's and they didn't have that bad a talent. They were not that pathetic. He actively was horrible. And I think he wanted to get fired. I do. Because there's no better job in the world than getting paid off $70 million
Insane.
to not coach.
Yeah. Hey, $70 million.
You know they weren't that bad because, I mean, yes, they added Tim Hardaway and they added Malik Beasley and they added Tobias Harris, but I mean,
they went from like all-time bad to respectable pretty quickly.
40 wins
right. They went from all-time bad to respectable pretty quickly.
They still had a couple good players on the team, right? Not pathetic. Killian Hayes isn't even in the NBA. He's starting him over Jaden Ivey.
What a mess.
Crazy.
All right. Well, the Knicks will get a coach. We'll talk about it whenever they do it.
You see how fast he got off this Game 3 talk?
Man, I cannot wait to text. I'm going to go ahead and text you. I'm going to go ahead and get in a text
Pat
right
McAfee
now.
on the front row.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and
Send those
text
sons
right
of bitches
now.
back to New York.
Oklahoma
City.
Thunder in 5.
I guess he can't say that, right?
Check your text. I'm already on.
The problem,
Thunder in 5.
I guess the problem with the Thunder is that they have nobody to send. Who are they sending? There is no Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, Garth Brooks.
No, he doesn't care
Is he
about
from Oklahoma?
them. He doesn't care about
Garth
them.
Brooks is from Oklahoma.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about them.
Yeah, he doesn't care about them.
He doesn't care about them.
They need him.
Because otherwise he'd be there doing the Thunder rolls all the time.
I think Garth is he's in a little tricky spot right now.
Why?
Remember he was
there was
the makeup artist.
Bro,
remember the makeup artist?
That went away.
That
got buried.
I'll tell you this. Last summer, Roser and I, one night, when we were at Summer League, I was like, bro, let's just find a show and go to it. And we went to Caesars for the Garth Brooks show.
Yeah.
And you walk in and they take your phone, right?
Yeah.
And then you suddenly realize why they take your phone. Bro, he stands up on that
Something
stage.
he won't send you a D pic.
Nope. He stands up on that stage with an acoustic guitar and just starts playing. And then then the curtain raises up and he's got the full band. And then the wife comes out and they sing duets for like 5 songs, Trisha Yearwood. And then at the end, he's like, at the front, there was like a box or whatever, and he just starts grabbing out requests. Some of them aren't even his songs. He starts playing. And like at one point, he's like, somebody requested some non-hit off his debut album. He's like, I have not played this song in 30 years. He tried to play it. He couldn't even remember the lyrics or whatever. Dude, it was like a 2.5-hour show. Roser doesn't care at all about country music or what. It was amazing.
Oh, dude.
And Roser knew every single song the guy played. I mean, and he was playing like Bob Seger songs, and he was playing like, he was
same. I'm not like the biggest fan, but I saw him here, and it was like incredible. Yes,
same deal.
Seriously, is good entertainer as there is.
To the extent that I enjoy country music, it's Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. I never was into the Garth Brooks stuff.
But you know it all.
I know all the songs. But I was never like Garth. I never have put a Garth Brooks CD into my car in that era of whatever. But hey, Garth Brooks is at FedEx Forum. Let's go. Amazing. Just a great performer.
Dude. I think.
Did you get sexually?
I didn't.
Sexually harassed at the show. Be honest.
I didn't.
Okay.
I met him. I interviewed Garth Brooks one time.
Did you get sexually harassed while you were interviewing?
He was the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, that's.
He really was.
Yeah, because you didn't.
He did grab my wiener.
Shut up. How have they not gotten him? That's shameful by the Thunder organization.
You didn't catch that Pacer wiener tonight, bro.
yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
Wait till it comes on those texts. Wait till it comes on that text. The Haliburton is coming.
Yep.
All right.
Let's go.
I'm going to get loose. I'm going to get loose tonight.
I bet you are.
I'm going to get loose tonight. My texts are going to get wild tonight.
Yep.
I'm going to get wild tonight with the text. Bennett, don't you even worry about it.
Let's go.
Bennett, Bennett, I'll rope you into this, too.
It's been a couple days, too. Like, we used to do this thing every other day. These finals are different. I've been waiting on this one.
It's too many days in between.
Too many days, yeah.
You know?
I'm fired up for this.
So many days in between the games, we can't settle on whether Tyrese Haliburton is good at basketball or not. There's so much space to talk in between the games that we can't determine whether Tyrese Haliburton is still good at basketball or not.
Who's the Thunder's biggest fan, most famous fan?
Let's look it up.
They really fumbled the Garth Brooks thing.
Thunder.
You can't get Garth Brooks to come do Thunder rolls.
I am being
how?
serious.
Like, how does that never happened? It's a joke.
I think the answer really might be, jokes aside, he was accused of some pretty awful stuff.
Last year, though. They've been, that's, I mean, you could have done it during the Durant era.
I don't know. I don't have an explanation for you, okay? Who is the
He's been their greatest son for a long time.
Man, Garrett Haviland? Who
the hell is
Thundar?
that?
Who is this guy?
Well, okay, what about just famous Oklahomans?
Who is OKC Thunder's Most famous fans. Let's see. Come on. Who?
Oh, Brad Pitt's from Oklahoma.
Bill Hader.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said that the other day. That is so random and frankly disappointing.
Bill Hader's great.
I love Bill Hader. That makes me want to vomit all over this table.
Bill Hader's hilarious.
He's awesome.
You ever see the...
Why is he a Thunder fan?
Well, I'm assuming he's from Oklahoma. I'm going to assume he's from Oklahoma. You may do a search on that too?
I don't think so. I don't see him on here.
Bill Hader, Wikipedia. Let's see where Bill Hader's from. Bill Hader is from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
I didn't... they don't even have him on the list of famous Oklahomans.
You see the... Jonah, there was some roast on Comedy Central one time, and Jonah here. It wasn't. I don't think it was about Bill Hader, but Bill Hader was there. It might have been about Bill Hader. I don't know, but Bill Hader was there, and Jonah Hill was on stage, and he's like, "That's my boy Bill Hader." I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, "Man, Bill, like he's amazing. Like he's on Saturday Night Live, and just decided I'm gonna leave Saturday Night Live to do cell phone commercials, but not even for like." AT&T, like I'm going to leave Saturday Night Live to do commercials for the fourth biggest cell phone provider in America. It was like the type of jokes that they're funny because like there is some truth in there. Like, yo, man, what are you doing? Leaving SNL to do commercials. But then he got Barry, and that was a critically acclaimed hit.
Yeah,
Bill Hader's doing just fine.
He's doing great.
Bill Hader's doing just fine. And then one of his ex-girlfriends, do you ever see this quote? He had an ex-girlfriend.
What'd she say?
I think it was Rachel Bilson.
Okay.
You'd have to look this up. Rachel Bilson, she was on a podcast just like this. And they were like, so you used to date Bill Hader. What do you miss most about Bill Hader? You know what she said? He's ding-a-ling.
Whoa.
She said his ding-a-ling.
How about that?
You think anybody's ever said that about you? You think if anybody ever said, hey, I know you used to date Bennett, what do you miss most about him? Do you think your ding-a-ling has ever been the thing anybody said?
I'd like to hope so.
I know you'd like to hope so. We'd all like to hope so. But do you think
I'd like to think so.
But do you think that's true?
Has that ever been said?
Has anybody ever said that?
Probably not.
I don't think anybody's ever. I can't imagine anybody saying that about me either.
Probably not.
I can't even imagine. I think they'd probably say, I don't think anybody ever misses me. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm missable. I don't think people really miss me.
Sorry.
I don't feel missed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel missed. But that's what Rachel Bilson said. She said his ding-a-ling. She said she missed his ding-a-ling.
Good for Bill.
Would you like it, though? Like if Rachel, I think you'd have to like it, wouldn't you? You'd take that as a compliment.
Of course.
I think I would take that as a compliment.
Yeah. Of course.
So I like Bill Hader. I like Bill Hader. So Rachel Bilson also likes Bill Hader.
Yeah.
If he were to travel to Indianapolis tonight to sit courtside for Game 3, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Okay. That's fine. Enjoy your
Kristen
team.
Chenoweth. Can I interest you in a Kristen Chenoweth?
I mean, she's, we already have a new Glinda. It's Ariana Grande.
Can I interest you in Jim Ross?
I don't think he cares. He's a Sooners guy. He don't give a damn about the Thunder.
He is a self-proclaimed major Oklahoma City Thunder fan, Bennett. Self-proclaimed.
Good old JR.
He identifies as an Oklahoma City Thunder fan.
Dang.
He's as a major one. Not just any, but a major one.
I don't like it.
Okay. I can't give you Timothy Chalamet, and I can't give you Ben Stiller, but I can give you...
God, why did we... I mean, dude, we missed the mark. On our series, we could have had JR and the King, like, going back and forth, like, doing some commentary. That would have been great.
I don't know, Bennett.
Next time.
Yeah. You got to learn. You got to learn from your experiences, and next time.
Yeah.
All right. 13 players have been invited to the green room at the NBA draft so far. No surprise, Cooper Flagg is one of them. We'll walk you through that next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today. The Grizzlies, grannies, and grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jared with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go, Let's go!
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in. And Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's Ortho South. I was at the Hernando office yesterday. My checkup appointment with Dr. Christian. Bennett, I got good news for you.
What's going on?
My partially torn hamstring.
It's not partially torn anymore?
I mean, it might still be. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
But I'm healed. I'm basically healed.
Good.
We've done all the tests. I'm basically healed. There is nothing that I was doing 1 month ago that I cannot do today.
Good.
Now, I wasn't doing much 1 month ago. Like if you say, well, okay, could you run a 100-meter sprint right now? Well, I'd be like, calm down. I wasn't doing that a month ago. All right? I don't need to run 100-meter sprints right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Who do you think I am? But everything I was doing, like, walking around, jogging sometimes, getting up, getting down, I could do everything I would. I'm back to where I was, Bennett.
Good.
Feeling pretty good. Special shouts to Ortho South. Had 3 physical therapy appointments. Got worked out for about an hour. Whole experience was beautiful. I'm feeling good. There was a time where I was wondering if I'd ever walk comfortably again. Bennett, I was wondering if I would ever walk comfortably again. It's a hard thing to think about.
Yep.
But here I am, 3 weeks, a little more later. I'm feeling good. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
13 players have been invited so far to the green room for the 2025 NBA draft. No surprise, Cooper Flagg headlines the list. He, of course, is expected to be the number 1 overall pick later on this month. Joining him in Brooklyn in the green room, or at least all these players have been invited, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe, Trey Johnson, Kaman Malawatch, Jeremiah Fears, Con Knippel, Kaspris Yakachonis, Yegar Dimon, Carter Bryant, Derek Queen, and Asa Newell. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you're Cooper Flagg, you want to be there because you're going to be the number 1 pick. It's a moment, all right? I think if you're Dylan Harper, you want to be there. What if you're somebody like Jeremiah Fears? You could reasonably go in the top 5, but also fall out of the top 15. And maybe even at that point, slip into the 20s. You could very easily be the last dude sitting in that green room.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you're the last dude sitting in that green room and you happen to slip further than Forget where NBA franchises had you on their big boards because we don't see them. All the public reacts to is the mock drafts.
Yes.
So if you're the last dude in that room and you slip further than the mock draft said you would slip, you become the story. Everybody's looking at you, and it ain't fun. How would you handle the situation? You receive this invitation, and somebody says, hey, man, you were ranked outside of the top 50 in your high school class, and now you've been invited to the green room after 1 year of college basketball. This is amazing, wildly unusual. It has a chance to be an amazing night for you. You could get picked in the top 10. Hug whoever you need to hug, walk up on stage, shake the commissioner's hand. Incredible. That's one way it could play out. Another way it could very reasonably play out is Cooper Flagg comes off the board, then Dylan Harper comes off the board, then Ace Bailey comes off the board, then VJ Edgecombe comes off the board, then Trey Johnson comes off the board, and you're still sitting there and you got people around you, but then Con Knipple comes off the board, and then Carter Bryant comes off the board, and Derek Queen comes off the board, and you still got a couple there, but then they come off the board, and now you're by yourself and waiting for the 23rd pick. And you're still sitting there because for all the great things you did in your one season of college basketball, you're still somebody who shot below 30% from three-point range and somebody who doesn't really guard your position too well, and front offices have big concerns how that's going to translate. So I know there were mock drafts that had you in the top 5, but your reality is now in the 20s, and you're by yourself in the green room, cameras on you, you're trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. It could be a nightmare situation. Do you want to go to possibly experience the good stuff? Or do you want to skip it so that you can guarantee you avoid what could be a very public bad night?
No, I think you want to go. I think, didn't Jalen Wells was there. He was a second-round pick. He got his moment in his suit, getting interviewed. And I think you want the moment.
This is where I recognize how weak-minded I am, because I think most people agree with you. I think your answer is right. I wouldn't go.
No, I want the moment.
I'm just always trying to avoid the nightmare. I'm never chasing the moment. I'm just trying to avoid the nightmare.
But you know you're getting drafted. I mean,
you do, but you also know it's
now a little different this year, and because we're doing 2 nights now of the NBA draft, right? We're doing 2 nights. So if you're close to the bottom of the first round, then maybe that makes you a little more nervous than in years past.
This is the way my mind works, and this is not. I'm like, my favorite thing about my youngest son, when it comes to baseball, basketball, anything he plays, he has so much confidence. He is the most confident little guy, on his team. He's the most confident he's just full of confidence. He believes in himself always. And I do nothing to rip that away from him, because I wish I were more like that. When I was his age, I did not have that type of confidence. I did not want to be up bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs, so that I could be the hero and hit the grand slam. I did not want that. I was afraid of being the guy that struck out and left the bases loaded. I would be like, just don't let it get to me there, because I'm not trying to be the hero. I'm just not trying to be the guy who blows it. And that was always my mindset in competition. I would rather not be. I prioritize not being the person who messed up more than trying to be the person who won the whole thing. In basketball terms, I'd be the person who passed the ball at the buzzer as opposed to begging for the ball, let me take this shot at the buzzer. And my mind, that mindset exactly would make me pass on going to the green room, because I'm not trying to experience what it might be like if I'm the 6th pick in the draft, as much as I'm trying to avoid what it might be like if I'm the 26th pick in the draft. I'm weak.
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you know?
I think I think you want to be there no matter what.
This is the same line of thinking. Yeah. There was a few different times, where I got approached about maybe writing a book, right? And we'd have the conversations. And then ultimately I would always just say, I don't feel like it's worth my time. I don't have the energy to put into this. I'm doing too much. I don't think I need to add more to my plate. I don't want to do it. But in the process of thinking about it from every angle, I had a fear conjured up in my head of I'd write this book, work hard on it, and then I would have a book signing.
Nobody would show up.
And nobody would show up. And I'd just be sitting there at a bookstore by myself, embarrassed and hurt. And that's not the reason I never wrote a book, but that was in my head somewhere as like a fear, which I know is crazy. So I would pass on the Green Room invitation, not if I were Cooper Flagg, but if I were at risk of being the last, if I were genuinely at risk of being the last person sitting there, I would probably pass just because I would not want to have to go through that, experience that. I need to work on myself.
Yeah, I think you do.
All right.
If I can hit the button.
Yeah, you need to work on yourself too. Coaches' challenges are coming to college basketball on the men's side. This is good. You probably noticed watching basketball, even during the NCAA tournament. You get to the end of the game, and it takes forever because they review everything. Ball nicks off this. Ball might have done this. Toe might have been on a three-point line. Toe might have been on the baseline. Let's go to the monitor. We play a basketball game at a pretty good pace, and then we get to the last 2 minutes, and everything just slows down.
Yep,
and it rips all the drama out of it. And so this is something we had talked about throughout last season, and I'd made the point, like, there's a lot of issues in college athletics, but this has to be addressed, and it has to be fixed, and it has to be fixed before we start playing basketball again next season. Like, whatever committee you got to get together, get them together and get them to sign off on this, but there's a better way to do it. And if you can't come up with a better way on your own, just copy what the NBA does. But we got to do it differently. And so now a lot of this bogging down the end of games is just, it's not going to be there, at least not to the extent that it has been and specifically was last season. Coaches will get one challenge, and you can use it strategically whenever you want. If you are successful in that challenge, you get another one, but you're maxed out at 2. And if you're unsuccessful, you're done, and now the only reviews you can experience are reviews that the other coach implements or the officials implement. But it should cut down a lot on referees at monitors. We spent so much time referees at monitors in college basketball last season, and this will cut down on that. They still, and this is frustrating for many, did not do anything about halves. Men's basketball, do you know this? Do people know this? Men's college basketball is the only level of basketball in the world where they don't have quarters. Every other level of basketball is quarters. High school, women's college, WNBA, NBA, international basketball, all the European leagues, they play 4 quarters. Men's basketball is still halves. I don't know. It's just because they can never do anything all the way. Everything has to be a 17-step process that takes 3 decades. Yeah. It's just like with this house settlement. There are issues in the settlement that they will have to address in the future. I don't understand why not. Let's just address everything now and get on with it. They'll take a 10-part problem and fix 2 things, and then still have 8 things that need to be addressed, and they'll be like, we'll get to that later. Yeah. This is the same type of thing. They'll get to it eventually. One day you will watch a college basketball game on the men's side. It'll be 4 quarters. I don't know why we're not there yet.
Me either.
But it'll happen someday. But like everything else with college athletics, it just takes forever.
Number 3.
Final score in Nashville last night. Switzerland 4, United States 0 in international soccer.
My buddies were there. They didn't have a good time.
Bennett.
We're down bad, dude.
We're down bad.
Now, here's the thing, because this is what you'll see today from the soccer experts.
What are you going to say?
Well, this is an international friendly.
I know.
We were missing a lot of our guys.
I know.
Buddy, if I have to hear about U.S. soccer in any of these friendlies, any of that we were missing a lot of our guys, that is always the excuse.
Everybody's always missing guys in friendlies.
I think that's true. I cannot tell you how many times over the past decade I've heard, well, you got to understand they were missing a lot of their guys. Okay, that's always an excuse for them, I feel like.
Okay.
And
I hear you. Now let me provide some context. Yes, we're missing guys. Guess what? We're always missing guys in friendlies, and for various reasons. We're always missing guys, and we still play these matches, all right? We've now lost 4 in a row. The United States men's national team has lost 4 straight matches, and this is the first time they've lost 4 straight matches since 2007. Just trust me when I tell you, in 2008, they played friendlies and they were missing guys.
Yep.
In 2009, they played friendlies and they were missing some guys. Do I have to keep counting all the years, or do you get the point?
No, it's...
And yet, in all those years, we never lost 4 in a row, and now we've just lost 4 in a row. Not only 0 goals last night, guess how many shots on goal? Take a guess.
1.
0.
That's crazy.
Do you realize Switzerland could have taken its...
And you're down 4-0 at half, so you would at least think in the second half, you're just trying anything.
0 shots on goal. Do you realize what I'm about to tell you is true? Switzerland's goalie could have sat on the goal, could have set in the goal, crisscross applesauce for 90 minutes. And the score would have still been 4-0. Do you realize that?
That's
wild. You realize Switzerland's keeper could have sat down in the goal and went like this the whole game. And the United States would have still scored 0 goals.
That's wild. And then even worse, we got the damn World Cup here next year.
Embarrassing.
We got the damn World Cup here next year.
Bennett, I know you know, I was once commonly referred to, I was once known as the Pele of Horn Lake.
Yes.
Okay? So I grew up in this stuff. My whole life, they've been talking about how we're about to get good at this. My whole life, they've been telling me we're about to be good at this. Just give it a minute. Wait till the Pele of Horn Lake and all these other little 8-year-olds become 19-year-olds. Then we're going to be good at this. You know how long it's been since me and all the other little Pelés were 19 years old? Well, I mean, you can just do the math on it. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We ain't never good. Why are we never good? Where is American excellence when it comes to this? Why are we never good?
I'm sure there's a lot of reasons.
And we've gone from we might be on the verge of getting respectable.
Yes.
To now we're actually embarrassing. We're like the Colorado Rockies of international soccer.
We're back to being embarrassing. And then, so they fired Greg Berhalter.
Yes, we've done everything we can do. We've done the coaching change. We've done everything.
The new coach is like 5-5. Like, he's not.
Fire him too.
Yeah,
Hire Tom Thibodeau.
But I think it's clearly a player problem. It seems like.
Why do we always have player problems?
I don't know.
Why can't we get good at this? We're good at basically everything else we try to be good at. All right?
Yeah.
But why can't we be good at this?
I don't know. I really want to be too, because I do get. Dude, I think like the World Cup, the Olympics, these big international soccer tournaments. Like, dude, that stuff is awesome, and we're just never.
And also,
we're never in the mix. Like, we're not getting out of group play in the World Cup. That's not happening.
And even the MLS thing just not taking hold in any sort of.
Right.
Let me honest question.
I mean, it kind of has.
When's the last time?
It's a regional thing, right?
When's the last time you thought about MLS?
I mean, I dabble.
I know you dabble.
I dabble.
You're a dabbler.
Yeah.
But when's the last time you thought about it? When's the last time it was in your head?
Last night when I was watching that, and I was like, can we just go pluck all the best players from MLS and see if we can make this work? Maybe they already do that.
Who won the championship?
Who won the MLS?
We have no idea. I include myself. We have no idea.
Atlanta?
I'm telling you, you could say Tupelo, and I'd be like, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Shouldn't you just know that? It's a problem if it's a problem if your average American has no idea who even won your championship.
MLS. Hang on, I'm about to.
Bennett, we're doing soccer research.
It's the LA Galaxy.
Okay,
Yeah,
the LA Galaxy.
I knew that.
Name one player on the LA Galaxy.
Man, they used to have Beckham once upon a time. I think he's retired.
We're down bad, Bennett. We're down bad.
He plays for the LA Galaxy.
Luka, I think.
Who?
Luka Doncic.
No.
I don't know, man. What are we gonna do? What do you think we're gonna do?
Oh,
I was hoping my kids would grow up in a world where we were at least respectable in soccer, where I could tell my kids, man, when I was growing up, we didn't have a chance at this stuff, but look at us now. It's American excellence on the pitch. Nope, never. 4-0, 0 shots on goal. Switzerland goalie could have done this. and just looked at the crowd, whole match behind him, we still scored 0 goals last night. Doesn't matter.
4-0. And it's Switzerland, bro.
It's Switzerland,
It
bro.
wasn't Belgium.
It's not Argentina.
Yeah.
You know? It's not like we brought Brazil to Nashville. It's Switzerland.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
I'm disappointed.
I'm very disappointed. I know it was a friendly. I know it was a friendly.
Even more than disappointed, I'm disheartened. I'm disheartened. Do you think it's worse to be disheartened?
I mean, I think that if any changes are going to come, that it'll happen when they get embarrassed in the World Cup in America. That's when I think.
Well, it's all signs
because you'll get people that are you'll get people that aren't diehard soccer fans that care about that, and then the public pressure will get even bigger than it's ever been, I think.
Why can't we just issue an executive order to make us good at soccer? Have we tried?
It'd be a popular order.
Just executive order. We do executive orders all the time.
I know. We do a lot now.
Yes.
I think it would be a popular one.
Just executive order, we're going to be great at soccer. Sign it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do something. What we're doing is not
We'll
working.
probably bring some people from the other side over with that order. I think that'd be a popular order. I like that idea.
It's just tough. I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't have the answers, but I hope we get better because this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm ashamed.
As the former Pele of Horn Lake, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, me too.
Number 4.
Cam Ward.
Not embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
Cam Ward was at minicamp yesterday for your Tennessee Titans. He threw a pick early, but then subsequently completed 18 consecutive passes and seemed to impress. Are you getting Cam Ward fever? Do you have your Cam Ward jersey yet?
I don't. I'm going to get a jersey. I don't have the jersey yet, and I haven't gotten tickets yet to the upcoming season because I'm waiting on, like, if we're not very good, like, I'm kind of waiting on, like, the second half of the season to see how those
you don't have to explain yourself.
ticket prices fluctuate. No, I'm excited. I mean, the thing that makes me the most excited about all this, and I knew it was going to be this way anyways, I think most people did, but, like, Brian Callahan did say that, you know, it was an open quarterback competition between Cam Ward and Will Levis, like, going into training camp. It's not. And this is crystal clear.
Will Levis lost Giudice, and he will lose this quarterback
Cam will be the
job.
day one starter. It's official,
Ever since Will Levis got to Nashville, he's been losing all the good stuff.
You know, I got no expectations for the season, but, like, there's some good stuff coming out of camp. Like, obviously, Cam has looked really good. You know, you had Devondre Sweat and Jeff Simmons there yesterday. So, like, guys that they thought might hold out are there, which is good. Some of the young guys appear to be stepping up. This Xavier,
see, you're excited.
Xavier
I see it in your eyes.
Our undrafted receiver out of Miami played with Cam. He's been looking good in training camp. Like, I'm feeling good, man.
Okay.
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I hope Cam is awesome. I hope Cam
Ward's awesome for you.
Yeah.
You deserve that.
Yes.
I think you deserve that.
Yeah. I just want fun. I want the fun, you know?
You just want to have fun.
I just look at all the, I look at the Bills and the Bengals and the Chiefs and the Ravens and just these teams with these fun, exciting quarterbacks. And I'm like, man, I'd give anything. I'd give anything for that. The Eagles with Jalen. Like, I just, give me something to be excited about.
18 straight completions. Be excited about that.
I love it. I love it.
Cam Ward, starting quarterback, Titans.
Let's go.
Week 1, no matter what they try to tell you.
Number 5.
Oh, by this time tomorrow, Bennett, we'll be underway at Oakmont. U.S. Open. Scottie Scheffler, number 1 ranked player in the world, greatest golfer on the planet. Played around there yesterday. You know what he said afterwards? This is probably the hardest golf course that we'll play.
Oh, no.
Maybe ever.
Oh, my God.
Maybe
ever.
Do you, as somebody, I know you don't live and die with golf,
but I know that every year that they talk about that course.
The U.S. Open is known for deep rough and impossible conditions. And it's almost like we, as sports fans, sort of like the idea of, we're going to watch these guys really struggle. This is going to be really hard for them. And so it's not the cleanest, most beautiful golf, but it's almost like as viewers, we don't want the cleanest, most beautiful golf. When it comes to the U.S. Open, we want to watch people get mad and watch people struggle and watch a top 20 golfer in the world not be able to move a ball out of this rough because the rough is so deep and so thick. Do you like watching that? Would you rather just watch guys go out and here's Scottie Scheffler and Roy McIlroy, and they're both 20 under heading into 18 on Sunday, or here's Scottie Scheffler, Roy McIlroy, and they're both 1 over heading into 18 on Sunday for the championship because they have been struggling to even make pars out here?
Honestly, I kind of do enjoy the controversy. I like the struggle and the controversy a little bit.
It just looks so different, and it is so different. And like, there was one clip going around yesterday. Guy was 122 yards away from the pin, and he used his putter, and he was just like, "Let's just see if we can get it there." Which, just if you have no context, just understand you could take me to any golf course in the area. Put me 122 yards away from a hole with a putter, and I probably can't get it there. It can't get it close. And he just sort of putted it the way you would putt, and it went through the green. I mean, he putted the ball 130 yards. That's how it won't stop. So you miss the fairway, you can't see your ball. Like you're standing over it, but you can't see it. You go through the green, you're in big trouble. And you're probably going through a lot of greens because you can't stop them. And it's just kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's just like, we know how good these guys are. We watch them annually, year round. And then you get them here and they look totally overwhelmed by just the conditions. I dig it.
I do too.
I'm ready for it.
I am too. We got any first round? We like anybody? I know Scotty.
I mean, I always like Scottie Scheffler. You just always like the best golfer in the world.
Yeah. I rode with Morikawa a lot last year. He was kind of... okay.
Yeah, it's been up and down for Colin.
Yeah.
It's been up and down for Colin. Can't wait. Big major golf. The LIV guys are here. The PGA Tour guys are here. It'll feel like U.S. Opens from yesteryears. And it gets started tomorrow morning, bright and early. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but can I talk to you about something we just learned minutes ago?
What's going on?
Shams Charania.
Oh, no.
No, calm down. Calm down.
Okay.
Everybody's ankles are fine. Everybody's ankles are fine.
It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week. Everybody's ankles are fine, far as I know. Shams Charania, NBA insider, ESPN, is reporting that the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleiman, have met several times over the past week and are sifting through trade scenarios. Right now, teams that have expressed interest in Durant mainly feature the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, Miami Heat, Minnesota Timberwolves, and New York Knicks, although several wildcard suitors have also made inquiries on Durant in the past 7 to 10 days. That's according to Shams Charania. Do you think the Grizzlies are
a wild card?
A wild card suitor. Do you think we're a wild card suitor?
I'd like to hope so.
I would like to be a wild card suitor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being a wild card suitor.
Kick the tires.
I wouldn't
see
mind
what's going on.
I wouldn't mind kicking a few Kevin Durant tires.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that 2 of those teams you'd be cool with as a Grizzlies fan, and 3 of them you wouldn't be, which would be the Rockets, Spurs, and Timberwolves.
There was a report that suggested KD, if it's up to him,
it would want to go to the Spurs.
Yeah. I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to play with the past 2 rookies of the year? Organization like that. I mean, I get it.
And you've seen what Wemby's doing right now. Dude, he's like locked up in meditation somewhere.
Yeah.
Like he is.
He ain't for play.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I saw that with the shaved head, and I was like, oh my God, he is about to wreck this league.
You know where I want Kevin Durant? And not
the East.
Yes, but like independent of, I don't want him to hinder the Grizzlies' path to a Western Conference title. Like, take that stuff, set it over here. Just as a basketball fan, where do I want Kevin Durant? New York. I want him to play.
Awesome.
I want him to play for the Knicks. I want Kevin Durant to be a Knick.
That would be so cool.
Just awesome.
And he would get his flowers. Like, I know that, like, everywhere he's played, like, the fans but, like, I don't know. I feel like that he's a guy that's been kind of bashed quite a bit over the last however many years, based on his decisions. And, like, I just feel like he would get so much love. Maybe not if it went sideways.
Well,
but
of course.
They'll be good.
Anything has a chance of going sideways and getting bad in New York. But
they're going to be good.
Like, Kevin spent part of yesterday arguing with people on Twitter, just random people.
I know.
About his career.
Dialed in, yeah.
It's clearly a thing that doesn't... I know he says he's as happy as he could be, but, like, we all know from a team perspective, success perspective, ever since leaving Golden State, it hasn't gone well. I know he's made all-star teams and scored all the points and solidified himself as an all-time great and future Hall of Famer, and I got it, I know. But it quite clearly hasn't gone the way he imagined it would go since he left Golden State. Nothing you can do about that now, right? But you could, in the story of Kevin Durant, really minimize that post-Golden State era if the Kevin Durant story ended, or at least culminated, with him in New York City, playing for the Knicks, not the Nets, and bringing a championship to Madison Square Garden. That would be
pretty cool.
If I could make one thing happen in the NBA, this is the one thing I would make happen. Ja Morant bring a championship to the Memphis Grizzlies. That would be number 1. I really do think number 2 would be Kevin Durant bringing a championship to the New York Knicks. That would be awesome.
Be cool.
That would be awesome.
Okay, I'm in.
There's your news for today. Sean's reporting the Kevin Durant trade stuff is very much in motion, and all the teams you think would be reaching out, yeah, they're reaching out.
What's today's biggest game?
It's clearly Game 3 NBA Finals, 7:30 tip on ABC. Thunder Pacers, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Thunder 5.5-point favorites on the road. Totals 227.5. Thunder up, Bennett. How you going to act?
This is easy.
Hey, congrats last night. You won. You laid that 17.5 with the Liberty. They covered that. No problem.
It wasn't even close. I watched the game.
They covered it. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have no choice here.
You're up 1 unit.
Yes.
Do you want to lose your 1 unit? Or do you want to double your 1 unit?
I want to double it
Then
by
you should
taking
be
the Pacers.
laying 5.5
No.
with Thunder up.
No.
Thunder up.
I have no choice here in this matter. I'm going Pacers. I don't like that. That kind of makes me a little bit nervous.
You and old Big Mouth gonna have to.
5.5's a
You
little.
and old Big Mouth gonna have to learn the hard way. You and old Big Mouth. Sometimes I do this with my kids. Sometimes it's no problem. I understand. I do this with my kids sometimes. I want to teach you. I just want you to listen to me and learn from my words.
Yeah.
But sometimes I know this as a father. Sometimes people need to learn at their own pace. Learn the hard way. You're going to have to learn the hard way. You and old Big Mouth.
Garth Brooks ain't walking through that door tonight.
Yeah, because
Garth Brooks ain't walking through that door
because
tonight.
there's probably a restraining order against him, so he's not even allowed.
Just stop.
He's not even probably allowed.
Yeah, we're going Pacers.
All right, you're going to have to learn the hard way.
We're going Pacers.
You and
Let's
old
go.
Big Mouth. You and old Big Mouth will have to learn the hard way.
I can't wait. I'm fired up for this game. Let's go.
I am too. I'm fired up.
What are we watching on TV?
I honestly think we just watched the NBA Finals. Let's stay focused tonight. It's Game 3 of the NBA Finals. At most, we only get 7 of these. All right?
That's true.
We shouldn't take them for granted. I mean, this year, we're only going to get 5 of these. We're only going to get 5 of these. All right? So let's not just be like, oh, I guess there's something good on Netflix tonight. We're only going to get 5 of these. So let's focus on them. Complete attention. 7:30, ABC.
What's the best thing we've read?
Oh, and I can't wait. We're probably going straight from Game 3 to the local news.
Oh, God.
I can't wait. See what's going on with the smog tonight.
Nah, we'll have a better lead.
Predict the local lead story on ABC 24 tonight immediately after the game. And the Thunder win by 17. Now, in most markets, you're going to your local news. It's ABC 24. What's the first story?
I don't think it'll be smog. It'd probably be something crime related.
It probably will be.
It'd probably be something crime related.
You see, they got him a Channel 3 reporter at the gas station yesterday morning.
Oh, my God. Do we have no shame?
I mean, it's 10:30 in the morning. My dude was just trying to get fuel.
Can we leave the reporters alone?
I mean, that's the type of thing that scares me.
Yes.
Like, this dude was just on his way to work, sun out, bright as day, just trying to get gas. Next thing you know, he's got a gun on him. Give me your car. He was smart. He just said, take everything, bro. I don't need it.
Was it a news vehicle? No,
it wasn't.
No.
It didn't like say News Channel 3 on the side or whatever. But it was. It had equipment in it. Did you see the other truck?
I put a decal on the side of mine.
Did you see the other truck that got stolen? These fellas.
What is going on? We had the ambulance stolen like 2 weeks ago.
These buddies stole a truck, and then they think, I don't know if they knew what was inside or not.
What was in it?
$60,000 worth of cereal. They caught him in the truck.
Good haul.
They caught him in the truck eating cereal.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. It's just got an expiration date on it.
But they said Buddy was sitting in the cab with 6 boxes of cereal open. He was just snacking on Lucky Charms, waiting to get arrested. What is going on out there?
What could you get for? Did you say 60,000? What could you get for 60,000 boxes of cereal?
I mean, you're gonna have to have some milk. I mean, that's a lot of milk.
There's a lot of milk. That's a lot of milk.
That's a lot of milk, man. Yeah. It's wild out there. It's wild out there.
Yeah, be careful.
I don't know what the lead story going to be on ABC 24, but I bet it'll. You know what? I don't even want to say that. I hope it's so compelling it makes me stay there.
Me too.
That's what I'm hoping.
You're damn right.
That's the bar tonight, ABC 24.
Support local news.
All right. I want to support local news. Mm-hmm. Can you make me not change the channel? The other night I changed it. The other night I changed it immediately. The other night I went, what the fuck?
Oh, careful.
What are we watching? What is this? And I changed the channel immediately in disgust. All right? Yeah. Can you make me not change the channel tonight? Malika Andrews going to say goodnight.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make me not change the channel before your first commercial? That's the test.
Okay.
That's the test for Local 24 tonight. What's the best thing we've read? Can I take you to CBSSports.com?
Yeah.
They got best case, worst case scenario for every NFL franchise, including your Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. Can I tell you what they read?
Well, best case scenario would be Cam Ward's your rookie of the year.
Best case scenario, the big play bravado of rookie Cam Ward, coupled with the savviness from vets like Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Lockett, launches Tennessee into a wild card territory out of the wide open AFC South. You accept that? You accept that as a best case?
I don't know if it's wide open, but I'm not hearing good things about CJ Stroud lately. Yeah, I wonder.
Worst case scenario, Cam Ward is splashy but just as reckless as predecessor Will Levis, once again forcing Coach Brian Callahan to produce answers he doesn't have, and Tennessee's occasionally scrappy defense can't pick up the slack.
Don't be reckless, Cam.
Can't be reckless out there. You can read that. It's on the homepage right now, cbssports.com.
What's on tap next week?
Oh, my God, Bennett.
Why did that say that?
Because you're in charge of the buttons and they never get pushed the right way.
No, that's not that. What's on tap tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow it's going to be Thursday.
It's because Devin resets this computer. That's why I'm putting it on him.
You sound exactly like my children. Always blaming the other one.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Mike Wallace going to join me.
Yes.
We'll look back at Game 3 NBA Finals. Should be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it already.
Me too.
The chat killed my hat today.
I like it.
I didn't know it was going to show up like this, like this.
It's pretty cool.
I don't know if it's cool, but it is something.
I like it.
I just threw it on. I was like, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what the chat says. I ain't looked, but I imagine I'm getting roasted pretty good.
No.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear.
There's
then.
one hater.
Okay. Well, then that gives
There's
me.
always a hater.
There's always a hater.
That's fine.
I actually think it's funny sometimes. Like, people go out of their way, like on these videos, to just comment on like what I'm shirt or like. I don't know. I don't think I've ever jumped on social media, watched a sports clip, and been like, I can't believe that person has that shirt on. It's just never the thing I've commented on. But people commented on it all day.
Step your game up, bro.
Maybe I need to step my game.
Yeah,
maybe it's time for time for me to look in the mirror.
I think it looks cool.
Maybe I should look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna do some soul searching.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna spend the rest of the day doing some soul searching, and then we'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. All right.
Yes, sirs. Ugh, that's so lame. I still go Pacers.
Be careful. Be kind. Be good. Rep your hood.